and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Okay. I know there's nobody here. So if you're tuning in a little later, I am literally talking to nobody. But I'm going to do some scans because I want to play around with Trendspider's new AI trading models. These are amazing. If you have Trendspider and you haven't played with these, I would urge you, go and play with them. Scans. Okay, nothing in the core portfolio. Let's just make sure. Nope, nothing. Let's look at brokerage holdings, which I have to put in. I have to put in my alpha picks into my brokerage holding. You know what? I'll do that later. Let me see. It's down a little bit. They have earnings coming up. No, they don't have earnings until December 16th. So, interesting. Bitcoin and crypto. BTCC. Let's do Bitcoin and crypto. Morning, Donnie. Donnie, there's literally nobody in here. I don't see anybody. So I think it's just me and you. I'm on early. And the reason is I just want to get, it's like 8 o'clock. I mean, it's 7:53, but it's actually 9 o'clock. So my sleep time is all messed up. What up? And I'm just getting shit started. Because you know what? You should be trading right. If you're a trader, you should be trading right now. This is prime trading hours. Anything before 9 o'clock is prime. Morning, Scott. So I don't particularly think that I'm screwing anybody up. I'm going to re-log in. Let me re-log in. If you have not tried, morning AJ, if you have not tried Trendspider's new AI, try it. It is, I haven't used it, but I was on Dan Ushman's call on Friday, I believe it was. Maybe it was Thursday. Yeah, because my sleep is all messed up. I'm old, man. You throw me into, change any part of my day. When you're old, and if you're old, you'll understand, change any part of my day, and it screws up my entire month. So that's why I'm on early. It's not because when I would, this would come around and I was working, I would show up into the office like an hour early, and then I would just leave. And people were pissed, and I'm like, hey, I was here early. Energy, CVX, DVN, UCO. Okay, leverage DTFs. Oh. We have QQQD. We have TSLS. We have TSDD. We have METD. We have TSLQ. Ugh, puke. There's a reason. I mean, I dealt with a dog that had seizures all day yesterday, so I guess I do have kids in a way. But it wasn't like, ho 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 ho. Ho 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 ho. Watch list is big. CAH path. Wow. There is one stock in here that has been catching up to a bid where, just look. This has been recovering unbelievably. Cardinal Health. It's an alpha pick. It's an alpha pick. And so let's go, and we're going to scan the Dow, which, by the way, next week will include NVIDIA and not include the shitty Intel. CVX and Intel. Yeah, Donnie, she has them from time to time, and we don't know why. And she's not on medication. I refuse to put her on medication because it's just like once every 6 months or so. And I do believe that at one point her potassium levels were super high. And so I wonder if the potassium, I stopped feeding her bananas. So when I eat a banana, I don't give her anymore. But we did start feeding her carrots a few days, maybe last week again. And so we're going to cut that out because they have high potassium as well. So, okay, I got all the scanners in. Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay. Look at Cardinal Health. 115 after earnings, you get a nice pop up to, it looks like 119, and you're trading at 116. Oh. Yeah. Donnie, you know exactly what I'm going through then. That's the dangerous part about Daisy seizures is that more than likely she's having them and we don't notice. So it's the big ones where she gets the shaking and the traditional what you would think of as a seizure. Those are few and far between, but sometimes she'll just stare at you. And that's kind of the ones that aren't, fantastic. Okay, I am going to try and figure out how to look at this. If you are, okay, let's see. We're going to go here. There we go. There we go. Okay. I wish I didn't have to show all of this, but because this shows you kind of, it doesn't show you the direct messages, but it shows you some of the other stuff. And half the stuff I don't even pay attention to. I should probably just get rid of this stuff, but oh well. Eli did a great thing here for everybody, so I want to show that one. And what's behind Warren Buffett's cash pile? Talent Energy. This is one that TLN that I've looked at before with folks, and I think it's on our watch list, and that one got hit hard. Yeah, it's not something that it's super traumatic for most people see it the first time. But Donnie, if you saw it a bunch of times, you kind of get a little bit, because you've got to be there for them. Morning, Mark. And that's the biggest thing is, you got to be calm, cool, and collected. That's a good one. That's what's in the iPhone. Microsoft could see more downside. Just basically on, a daily. I think the first 20, 50, 20, 200. This is called the death cross. So, Amazon, Bezos is going to sell at 200. So, I bought an Alpha Pick stock. It's a cruise line. And, yeah. I put an extra 0 in there. Let's just say that. NVIDIA joins the Dow. We're going to go over. I don't think that they've released anything. Let me see. Spider blog. There we go. Let's see if they released anything. It's a super soft launch. No. Okay. So they haven't released anything, but I'm waiting for the documentation. That's interesting. I didn't even know that they post all this stuff. Wow. It's amazing. I mean, Trendspider is just such a good tool. Okay, we won't go into that. We're going to do a little bit of a sales pitch. So, but we're going to start out with everything. I'm going to start recording. Even though the large majority of the audience is not here, I'm going to start recording. So if you're joining late, it is now 8 o'clock. Let me just make sure I know where the futures are. Yeah. Boo-boo, if you're listening, you have to go tomorrow to vote because you procrastinated. Okay, I just want to check something real quick. I'm checking the futures and some texts. So, let me see. Where are the markets? Futures are kind of dip ahead of presidential election. Yeah, I mean, futures are the future. I mean, A Riviera depends on your time frame. I mean, I'm still holding a large amount of Google and Amazon. So I mean, for me, it depends on your risk tolerance. If you want to own Amazon, you got to know Bezos is selling $3 billion at 200. It's trading at 196. So if you want to buy it here, I don't know that it necessarily makes sense to buy it here, but it held on to its 190s even after he announced that he's selling $3 billion. So I'd assume that probably between 188 and 199 is probably a good for the long term. Google, you're in the same boat. And you know, I did a full analysis in the newsletter of Google. I completely think that it's not a bad time to buy. But, you know, your guess is as good as mine, Riviera. Riviera. I honestly, if you look at a monthly, I mean, if your time frame's like mine and you just look at a monthly, what's wrong with holding it? I mean, is there any problem with holding Google? Is there any problem with holding Amazon? Look at a monthly chart. Any problem there? Yeah. Yeah, so Riviera, I mean, it just depends on your time frame, because if you're not getting in now and you're waiting for the dip, you're going to lose more money. Well, I shouldn't say that. Historically, if you wait for a dip, you're waiting too long, and you wind up losing money because you're always buying at higher prices. Yeah, and Titan, that's the same thing. You know, Michael Dell has sold billions of dollars of Dell, and that's at 132 right now, up 1%. Let's see if I haven't looked at SMCI today. It's only down by 1%, but it's lost that support. So we'll go into all that. So I'm going to hit record now and start going over this stuff. I just, you know, whether it's a good time or not, that's not for me to say. That's for you to determine. I think both are very good businesses. I think Walmart's a fantastic business. I own that one as well. I think if you're trying to decide, should you buy now? I think that's a different story. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You've got, I mean, wait till we go over it. I mean, here's the thing. You've got stock. Tell me that the economy's bad. Stocks at all-time high. Home prices all-time highs. Bitcoin all-time high. Gold all-time high. Wages all-time high. U.S. household net worth all-time high. Bond and cash yields at 5%. Unemployment rate at 4.1%. Inflation at 2.5%. You tell me, is the economy shitty? I don't think so. I think there are certain political agendas that may make you think that the economy's shitty. The economy's not shitty. We may be heading towards a shitty economy, but you know, Buffett may think that you know, we're going towards a bad economy and raising cash, but we're not in a bad economy. So Buffett can try and front run it. He's got billions of dollars. So I think he's fine doing it. I think for a smaller investor, I think you're in a bull market until you're not. And so in my mind, it's always been kind of strange to pull out too early. But, you know, guys like Tyreek Hill who have 19 baby mamas, they should pull out too early. And look at November. 26 years for the Qs. Look at November. Look at November. We'll go into that. Okay, hold on. Good morning. It is Monday, November 4th. Welcome to what most would call, in a fraternity, you have what's called Hell Week. That is this week. Nothing to see here. You got an FOMC meeting on Wednesday, announcement on Thursday, and that was only put off because we have the election on Tuesday. So welcome to Hell Week. Yeah, I'm in danger. You could see some crazy volatility. And I'm just starting off the podcast with that one. You could see some crazy volatility this week. And the Qs were up 0.14 in pre-market. You're at 488 on the Qs. The all-time highs around 503. We've seen it pump up to there last week and it pulled back. We're probably going back to that because here's the thing. Look at this. We're in November, okay? 26 years I went back in Trendspider. 26 years. 77% of those 26 years, the NASDAQ QQQ was positive with a mean change of 2.59%. In a month, if you can get 2.59%, times that by 12. That's 24% in a year. Okay, so if you can invest in that month, whether people know it or not, whether the election takes us down, whether there is uncertainty in this market, okay, that is the fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. 26 years, 77% of the time, the NASDAQ is up. I'll take that bet. That's better than blackjack. And when they tell you that the economy is bad, let's just look at this. Stocks, all-time highs. Home prices, all-time highs. Bitcoin, all-time high. Gold, all-time high. Wages, all-time high. U.S. household net worth, all-time high. Bond cash yields at 5%. Unemployment rate at 4.1, historically low. Inflation at 2.5. Do not tell me this economy is shitty. When you go into that voting booth, realize we are at the wealthy have gotten wealthy. So the Democrat thing, they may not like that the wealth gap has increased. But the fact is the economy is healthy. Money makes money. So you want to be with those people. Don't be pulled out of the market. Don't just because Warren Buffett is pulling out his money does not mean that you should pull your money out of the market. Time in the market beats timing the market. And yes, we have a crazy week ahead. And yes, there could be volatility. But the reality of the fact is most of your money should be working for you in money. You can't time the market. So while the Qs are up slightly, they could go down. We could have some type of, election interference. We could have some craziness in the election like we did last time in 2020. But the reality is the month of November is typically strong. I don't care who it is in the White House. 2021 was up, 35%? And 2017 was up about the same. So get ready for the next year. Don't look at the short term. Look at the long term. And that's what I'm trying to point people to, is looking at the long term. Now, here's the Qs. We can go and look at SPY because SPY is just the S&P 500. I like to buy VOO. It's got a bigger one. Both of these in the 4-hour algorithm have you out. Okay, they have you out. And if you want to trade on the 4-hour algorithm, that's perfectly fine because the 4-hour algorithm on SPY makes you 44.2%. The actual asset over the last year makes you 49.8%. So I wouldn't argue if you trade 40% of your SPY position in a tax-advantaged position, in a tax-advantaged account on the 4-hour algorithm. You can't, that's set 6% over 2 years. Compounded, it's going to hurt you over a long term. But if you're super uncertain about the election, if you're super uncertain about the Fed meeting, if you're super uncertain about the economy, then I wouldn't argue that that's not, sleep at night, but leave 50% in, but leave 50% out. And you can trade it on this 4-hour algorithm. Now, here's the other thing, okay? This is the month of Black Friday. And so if you've been hearing me talk about this 4-hour algorithm, Trendspider's Black Friday sale is now active. Now, I'm going to go over this, but realize there's a lot to this because these savings are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Remember I said for about $50 a month, you can get standard, which gives you my 4-hour algorithm. It gives you 5 active windows, 30 simultaneous alerts, gives you some stuff. Oh, and then you can upgrade to enhanced for a little bit more. It was like $65 a month. And then advanced was something like $80, $90 a month. It was significantly more. Well, look at these prices, okay? Now understand, this is time sensitive because next week it goes up. This is going on for the entire month of November. But Black Friday deal is here. Now I want to explain this because the standard, great price. If you're just wanting a chart software, you just want my 4-hour algorithm, you don't want to do anything else, that's a great price. $545. If you're trading with a large enough portfolio, in my mind, I think you're going to actually benefit from the 4-hour algorithm just in a few stocks, managing your portfolio. I think that makes sense. Okay? That is super cheap. That is a 15% discount. Not bad. Not bad, because I know what their costs are, and they're not making a lot of money off of you on that one. Now, enhanced, this is a little bit more advanced because this one comes with 10 active windows, 100 simultaneous alerts, 30 active trading bots, and you can go and you can look at this. It comes also with a free one-on-one training session, okay, for $49 a month. That's $591 for the first year, okay? I would point anybody new to this advanced tier because this is the best discount that you're going to get. 75% off. And here's what it comes with. I don't care about the 20 active windows. Yeah, that's great. And that's fantastic. I'd use those. 400 simultaneous alerts. You can set up alerts for your entire portfolio for buy or sell. That's fantastic. You can set up bots for your entire portfolio. 100 simultaneous. If you've got 50 freaking positions and set up buy and sell, there's your Alpha Picks buy and sell trading bots. It's fantastic. But here's the key to this advanced tier. Okay? It's down here. It's unlimited one-on-one training time. So if you're new to this, if you're new to technical trading, not only do you get my 4-hour algorithm, not only do you get the 65-minute algorithm, not only do you get all my custom watch lists and all of the scanners that I personally use that you listen to every day, but you could literally make a training on every day with a product expert at Trendspider. And they will guide you through setting up strategies. They will guide you through all of the indicators. They will guide you through all of those things. Unlimited one-on-one training. And when I talked to Dan Ushman, the CEO of Trendspider, and I said, hey, should I really push that? Because that seems kind of crazy for you guys to do. His response, we love training people. That was his response. Push it. Push it. Because if they're new, we love training people on this tool. And that was the key. So if you are going to take advantage of this, I would urge you, do it this week. Now, here's the other thing, okay? You can get a free 7-day trial. It's not these prices. It's a little bit different. And I don't exactly know how you do it, but there's a free 7-day trial offer. Now, here's the difference. If you go with the 7-day trial, you do pay a little bit more, okay? You don't get the discount. The other thing that happens is I'm not going to give you my algorithm, watch list, and things like that until you become a paying customer. The reason, simple. Come on. You want to get a free 7-day trial with my algorithm? That's like Alpha Picks saying, hey, we're going to give you a free 7-day trial of the portfolio. No, it doesn't happen. So basically what I would tell you is if you are uncertain about this tool and you don't know if you actually like it, go and get the free 7-day trial, okay? Use the tool for 7 days. If you don't like it, then you don't have anything. Use my link at Linktree first to sign up, okay? You use this link. It's going to get you the best offer possible. That's the key, okay? It's going to get you the best offer possible. Just make sure if you sign up through a chat agent, they have chat down here in the bottom right. If you sign up through a chat agent, just mention Gary at Daily Stock Picks is the one that referred me, and they'll make sure you're on my program. But make sure that if you want the 7-day trial, you email me once you become a paying customer. Do not email me on the first day. And I'm sorry to everybody who took advantage of this offer yesterday and actually emailed me. I was getting ready to come on the air today. I didn't know this was this. They just announced this to me on Saturday that they were doing 7-day trials. So it's not like I get a ton of headwind about this stuff. But this is the best sale of the year. You will never get this price again. That is amazing. And here's the kicker. The kicker is these guys not only launched this Black Friday tool, in the middle of your screen, you're going to see this thing called AI trading models, okay? This is game changing. So I have not played with this. Full disclosure, I was on a demo call of it Thursday. And I know it's coming out as a beta, so they don't have a lot of documentation on it, but several people in our private Facebook group have used it, and they said it's super easy to use. So if you have Trendspider, I would urge you to go and try it. Dan has told all of the affiliates like me, have your people go and try and break it. It is beta, so it is a soft launch. So understand there might be problems. But here's the theory around this. So say we head into a bear market, okay? And I want to know how to trade in that bear market. I can train the AI on the 2022 bear market. Remember when the Fed started raising interest rates and the market went down in 2022? And we can go and look at that on a weekly chart here. I can go tell the AI in Trendspider, hey, look at this stock during this period. And I can say, look at SPY. I can say, look at NVIDIA. I can say, look at Palantir during any period that you want. Train it. The AI will go out and it will not only test your strategy, like my 4-hour algorithm, but it will test other strategies based on Trendspider's indicators. And it will go and get the best indicator possible to try and trade that stock. And it gives you responses about performance. And it gives you responses about buy and hold. It gives you the ability to customize everything. That's my understanding of this. Now, the actual implementation, I have not played with it. But the fact that if you're scared of getting into the markets at an all-time high, this AI tool could actually be the game changer that you're looking for. It is the first one in charting. They are the first ones to release something like this. And the reason Dan said that they released it, he's pissed off that people are saying that they're using AI. And they're not. They're not. I can tell you that my algorithm is AI. And that he used that as a specific example. He said algorithmic trading is not AI. It's not. What you're doing is you're training a large language model on the history of the market with your strategy. So it's actually using AI on the back end. He said it's extremely expensive. More than likely, they're going to have a tier with the AI model. And that's why you should get the higher level tier because, again, it's expensive. They want it out to everybody. They want to trade it. This is why I love Trendspider, is they don't hide their initial stuff behind a paywall and they don't pump it up. Dan's like, hey, you may break this stuff. It may not work exactly the way you want it. So make sure that you're getting the results that you want. But that's why I love Trendspider. So as far as the markets go, again, biggest sale over 4 weeks, the price goes up. You can see it right here. Okay. There is a 7-day trial. I don't exactly know, but if you message them or look at this, there is a free 7-day trial offer. I think it's a free 7-day trial. Yeah. I have the prices. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the prices real quick. Let me see. Free 7-day trial. Let me see if I have. Bear with me. No, I don't have it. Okay. Oh, there we go. Discount tiers and pricing. There we go. Okay. The free 7-day trial for the standard, it looks like the annual standard is $597. So instead of $540, it's $597. The free 7-day trial for the enhanced is $898. So it goes up significantly, $898. Now the annual advanced tier for the free 7-day trial, it goes up to $1,341. So you're saving significantly by not using, and that's why I said you guys see me use this all the time. So there's my sales pitch. We won't go into more of a sales pitch on this at all. But I wanted to bring that up just so everybody knows because it is a fantastic, fantastic deal. Now, we got news on Friday. I told you Intel was a shit show. Well, it's a complete shit show now. It's getting bounced out of the Dow. NVIDIA is replacing Intel in the Dow. Now, NVIDIA pre-market, I think it's up like 2%. Get it below 140. Just get it below 140. It's at 137. I do think, here, the algorithm got you out. The algorithm got you out with a nice 18% gain. I wouldn't wait for those Bollinger Bands to bounce back up, and then all of a sudden you're at November 20th when they release earnings. Look at the MACD. It's down at the oscillator. Look at the RSI. It's back at 45. On the weekly, you are absolutely stretched, but look at how that MACD has reset. It's absolutely stretched. Your RSI is at 61. The last time the RSI was at 61, you were trading at $48. $48 when the RSI was down this low on the weekly. Okay? Do not wait for this. The valuation isn't crazy. But yeah, into NVIDIA, into the Dow. And you know what else? Sherwin-Williams gets added to the Dow. Big deal. Took Dow out. So you've got NVIDIA replacing Intel. Remember, the Dow is only 30 stocks. It's 30 stocks. So what do we have on the week ahead? We've got Palantir earnings today after the bell. I can pull up Earnings Hub. Let me pull up Earnings Hub so we can see. We've got big earnings. You got Palantir and you got HIMS. And like Steph just told me on YouTube Live, happy HIMS Day, everybody. I can't imagine that this one does well. Again, I will point you towards the conference call that Eli Lilly had. They said demand is stronger than ever. And they said we've got plenty of supply. Demand, but we're having trouble keeping up with demand. How do you have trouble keeping up with demand when supply is completely... That's double talk. That is, hey, we're not going to allow these compounded pharmacies to actually, make money, to actually use the FDA rule that when supply is low, they can do compounded because, rather than paying $400, $500, maybe $800 for the Eli Lilly stuff, you're paying $40 for the HIM stuff. It is what it is. I don't know exactly if it's, been touted as great, but you've got this one after the bell. Now, the earnings, they're expected 4 cents per share. They reported 6 cents per share last time. They were expected to do 4 cents. 379 is the expected revenue. Last time they did 315 million. I would expect that. The key point on this one is going to be the guidance forward. Now, what else you have? You have Palantir. Palantir, 9 cents a share is what they reported last time. That's what they're expected now. Palantir stock, this is in the core portfolio. And Palantir stock has been crazy. I say that the valuation doesn't make sense. The algorithm just got you out with 22% gain. Am I getting back into this one? No, I just can't. I can't wrap my head around the valuation. And this is exactly like Tesla. I couldn't wrap my head around the valuation. And so I got out of Tesla super, super early. Now, the algorithm only makes you half of what buying and holding makes you. It makes you 151%. If you bought and held this one for 2 years, you're up 384%. I would argue that 37 is going to be the first level of support. Then if you get back below there, I would be buying between 32 and 37. For me, that would be pretty good. You'd have to have really bad earnings to come back down here to this gap between 30 and 32. But realize that gap is just September. That's just September. So this one on a weekly, it has run up a lot. There is nothing but extension here. Nothing. You just have your 200 day, by the way, is at 17. Your 50 day is right there at 25. So if you pull back to this 50 day, time to buy. This is one of the ones that I would say the valuation, don't worry about it. If it pulls back like that, just go and get it. Karp is just a phenomenal CEO. The software, phenomenal what they're doing. I think it's great. Now, Tuesday, not only do we have the election, we have the shit show of SMCI. I am completely out of SMCI. Full disclosure, I sold on Friday. I sold everything. Okay, I made a profit, still made a profit. Should have sold much, much earlier. Would have made more profit much, much earlier. But I'm completely out of it. I don't want to be in this when earnings comes. Because, have you ever heard of a company called Enron where they falsified documents? Where did Enron go? It went to freaking zero. You were worthless when you had Enron. That's where I think SMCI is going to post probably good revenue numbers. They're not going to be audited. Probably good earnings per share. They can't do any guidance because it's not audited. So I can't imagine that they do anything, because in order to do that, they would have to release their 10K. So I just don't want you to find out that this is at $20. Now, if it all of a sudden goes to 40, hey, shame on me. But for me, the risk reward is not there. Also, tomorrow, you've got China's fiscal announcement. Wednesday, you have PMI data and the Fed meeting. There's no announcement on Wednesday, but you have PMI data and you have the Fed meeting. Okay. Thursday, you have the jobless claims in the morning. Then you have the Fed interest rate decision. I think it comes out at 2 o'clock. Okay. Then you have big earnings. Okay. On Wednesday, you have Qualcomm. We can do, you can look at Coupang. You can look at all of these other ones on Tuesday. But then you have you have Celsius before opening. You have Toyota, CVS Health. You've got Qualcomm on Wednesday, and you have ARM, and you have Melly, and you have AppLovin, and you have HubSpot. Those are huge. I mean, those are potentially big movers. Okay, you've got on Thursday, you've got Square, you've got DraftKings, you got Rivian, you got Airbnb, you have Affirm, which, by the way, just announced their move into international markets. Affirm could be a huge one. You have Arista Networks. This is a great one. You have Pinterest, which I've traded before, which is at 32 and could pump to 40 with some good things like Snap, like Snap did. That one's an interesting one. You have Toast, which is in the watch list. You have GCT, which we all just hopefully got out of, but it's trading around 22. Could this one pump up with some crazy stuff? Now, Friday, you have consumer sentiment. So you got a lot of stuff coming out. Biggest movers today, NVIDIA, of course, with the Dow. You've got Viking Therapeutics. This is a big one because this one, I think it's got Viking shares jump after positive early data on oral obesity pill. Lilly and Novo drop. Okay, we can look at Lilly because that's the one. Viking Therapeutics is becoming one that I think you should probably get into. Lilly, I'm loading up on this one. As this one shows some strength, I'm going to load up on this. That conference call, we've gone back and we've covered this gap down to 775. I think you may come back and retest midway below $800. In my mind, I think you buy this one at $800. And the reason is very simple. I think that conference call, I think what they said was, hey, we don't have the supply to meet the demand. The demand is huge, but we have plenty of supply. That's keeping HIMSS and the compound pharmacies at bay. That's fighting off that those kind of people. I think it's just double talk. That's where I think it's going. So you've got another big mover of the day. You've got Trump Media down over 7%. This is one that you could trade, and it's been crazy to trade. I don't want you on a long time frame because look, you were in at 13 on the 4-hour algorithm. Okay, it does beat buy and hold. It's 118% versus 79%, but you only win 35% of the time. Your average win is 26%. Your max drawdown though is 70%, and that's where you get screwed on longer time frames. So I would rather see you pull up something like the 65-minute algorithm and trade this one on there. Now, this one, this 65-minute, look how close it got you out. Nice 22% gain. Just guess the results. If you're looking at the bottom of your screen now, okay, on DJT, over 8 months, you make 588% in this stock, okay, within 69 positions. It's a lot of trading. You can see there's tons of trades in here. You can launch this as a bot. What do you make if you bought and held this for 8 months? You lose 23 freaking percent. Okay, you don't have confirmation right now. You have nothing. The MACD is resetting on this 65-minute, but I would argue find a short time frame. You could use the AI trading model to try and look at that one. But that's a big mover of the day. There's your big movers. Now, let's talk about alpha picks. Because Seeking Alpha, they don't have their Black Friday sale yet. Just hint. Yet. But if you wanted to get Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks, it's on sale. I save you $159. I will argue that I don't think that the Black Friday sale, they haven't released anything to me. They have said that they're having a Black Friday sale. So if you want, just wait. Just wait for it. The Trendspider one, do not wait. But this Seeking Alpha one, if you want it right now, the Alpha Picks portfolio, we just got a new pick on Friday. I bought it. Now, I made a big mistake. I forgot that I only invested like $50,000 worth. So when you go into an Alpha Picks, when they release the pick on the 1st and the 15th, you're supposed to buy 1% of the portfolio. So you're supposed to buy 1% of the actual stock. So I have $50,000 in there. I was supposed to buy 500. I bought 5,000. Just FYI. It's a cruise line. I'm not a cruise guy. I will be slowly weighing that down. But I bought 5,000. Just FYI. The paywall on Amazon, we talked about it. Well, I think I talked about it right before. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos just filed to sell $3 billion worth at 200 again. So Amazon, even though it's at 196, and we saw this one pump after its earnings, we saw it pump up to 198. It didn't get over 200. Got to $200.50 in the morning on Friday morning. Okay, so it hit that, rejected off. Where's it going? Where is it going? Well, my guess is just back to this trend line. Those earnings were good. I think you're going to regain this trend line. So you're going to see it use resistance, but I think 225, 250 is where you're going. But you will have to get through what we're calling the Jeff Bezos paywall. Because at $200, he is going to sell so much that it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. So just expect that one. Expect that. So if you're buying at 197, I'd rather see you buy at 202 once he says, hey, we're done selling. 202, 203. I'd rather see you buy there than to buy at 196 and have it pull all the way back to 188 again. Remember, this 188, this is the old resistance. We need that to turn into new support. It didn't. Look at how it pulled back right through it. So I would argue that 185 to 180 is probably your resistance level right now. Your support level. I would argue that is probably, if you get this under 180, count yourself as lucky. Okay, but that paywall is there. Now, Microsoft, till death do us part. The first 50, 200, I talk about this all the time, the golden cross and the death cross. This is the death cross, the 50-day crossing under the 200. That yellow line is the 200. The blue is the 50. I use a red as my 200, just me. You can do whatever color you want. But this is a daily chart from Microsoft. Okay, that death cross, the first death cross since March of 2022, the price fell 30% before. So let's see where we are. I know we're out as far as the 4-hour algorithm goes because the 4-hour algorithm actually reacts quicker than the daily. I would argue that if you're going to buy this, buy it between 400 and 430. And I think long-term you'll be okay. But if we go up to this daily, yes, you have that death cross. And yes, you've broken that trend line. Where does that trend line come from? That is the weekly, where I put the trend line anchored at the January 2023, where it hit the 200-day. And you can see we started using that as support. We've broken that. So do you want to buy it? I would argue that down here, that we could continue to go down. You see in 2022, when the MACD kind of got back to the oscillator, it continued down into the October lows. So I would argue this doesn't mean that you're safe. This doesn't put you in a safe position. This just puts you in a position that, yes, it's an opportunity. I think that Microsoft is perfectly fine. Long term, I think short term, you might see some downside. It took me 10 years to become a great trade on this. But it wasn't like the money was sitting there doing nothing. It was sitting there in Microsoft getting a small dividend. It was what it was. Now, if you want to invest in iPhone, these are the companies that make everything within an iPhone. You can see Broadcom does a chip. Texas Instruments does a chip. Cirrus Logic, Bosch, okay? Cirrus Logic, Renesas, Qualcomm, Broadcom, Skyworks, Qorvo, NXP, Qualcomm, Skyworks, Broadcom, Qualcomm, Qorvo, NXP, Texas Instruments, Cirrus Light. Just go. I'll put this in a link in the newsletter so you can see it. Now, this was an interesting one off of CNBC. Top Wall Street analysts are confident about the long-term potential of these three stocks. I thought this was interesting. First is Fiserv, next is Boot Barn, and next is Chipotle. I'll put this article in the newsletter. This goes over everything that you need. And I think it's from Tip Ranks, which I think D-Man likes. I think that's the one that he likes, Tip Ranks. But yeah, it's a good article. Shows you kind of those three. Like we talked about, Viking Therapeutics, positive results for their GLP-1. It's up now 20% in pre-market. Let's see, VKTX is the symbol. You'll see that this stock just pumps. This, 73 to 14 is where the algorithm got you in. Right now it's at 75.80. It's come back down. It's only at 4% up. It pumped in pre-market. If you look at this in pre-market, we can go and look at a 5-minute pre-market. Look, it pumped all the way up to 91. We've come back down. I mean, that's just the way some of this stuff runs, is it's come back down. So in the 4-hour algorithm, it got you in at 73.14. I would have said, hey, at 90, sell it. Look at where it got to here at 82. You can always buy it back cheaper. This one's just one of those ones that pumps up. I like the stock. I like, another one, nuclear. Talon Energy shares plunge as FERC rejects nuclear power deal with Amazon. So essentially, the commission said, hey, this is going to raise consumer prices because you're going to take away all of the nuclear stuff. So Talon can't sell it to Amazon for their data centers. And so Talon Energy, TLN, the way I found TLN was VST, which is the largest gainer in the S&P year to date. This was one in Seeking Alpha that said, hey, you can get this. This is one that's kind of like it. Now, algorithm got you in at 179. You're in at 157. It will probably get you out on this candle. I would put this on your watch list. I do have this on my watch list. Backtesting started only 114 days ago because that's when it went public. Now, Talon Energy, if we go and look at this one, we can see it is number 1 out of 6 in the utility sector. Okay, independent power producers and energy. Look at the year to date. Year to date, it's up 171%. It's only got an $8 billion market cap. That is pretty small in this world. The quant has it as a strong buy. Again, this is all part of Seeking Alpha Premium. This is what you get with Seeking Alpha Premium. You can take a look at these stocks. Now you go down here, the bulls say TLN's generation assets, including nuclear, are geared to higher electricity demand and prices. This is nuclear. I'd say buy the dip. Honestly, I'd say buy the dip. Now, Wall Street, there's 10 analysts that cover this. Where's their price target? $217. I think they're going to find a way to get this nuclear power over to Amazon's data center. So that's my tip for the day. If you want any of the other nuclear stuff, it's all in here. It's in this article. If we just go back here, CEG, public service, VST is down 3%. NVIDIA is up 1%. So, yeah, you can take a look at TLN. And if you want others, you can just go to peers over here. And this has all of the other ones. TAC is another one. Alta, Vistra is the one. And you can see Vistra, if you go look at market cap, they're $41 billion. Okay, that's why TLN is so small. It's $8 billion. But you can look at, TAC is only $3 billion. And that's nuclear as well. So I like that one. I like that a lot to buy it. Let's see. Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway released their filing on Saturday. They sold a bunch of Apple. They sold a bunch of Bank of America. They sold a bunch. They are flush with cash. He is sitting on the largest cash pile he has had, and it's not percentage wise, but the actual dollar amount of cash is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Let's see, inflated a record $325 billion as of September 30th to $277 billion only a quarter ago. So it's $325 billion in cash. This article goes over it. I don't know what he's thinking. He got out of Apple. Does he think that Apple's extended here? Probably does. You can look at Berkshire. BRK.B is what you want to buy. So let's go over some social requests. And I will tell you, Eli from the Substack newsletter, he has done, if you go to the newsletter here, Eli put in this whole chat, what he's done for everybody. and thank you, Eli, for this. It looks really good. Is a while back I had said, hey, you should be using AI to look at stocks and to analyze this stuff. So he's put in prompts, one for market analysis, one for portfolio. All you have to do is copy and paste this into an AI, into ChatGPT, into Google Gemini, into Meta. Meta's open source, Llama. You can just go into freaking WhatsApp and paste this stuff into Meta AI. And you can say, okay, here's the one market analysis. Here's the portfolio diversification. Here's risk management. Here's technical analysis. Here's economic indicators, value investing. All of this Eli has done for you. So you can just go and buy it, go and just copy and paste. Great. Eli, thank you so much. I'm going to actually put those in an Apple note for me and look at it. Now, Eli wanted me to look at a couple of them. First one is PSIX. Okay, this one is the power one, Power Solutions, that we got out of Seeking Alpha. So if you go to Seeking Alpha and you just go to the top stocks, PSIX is up top again. Okay, it was out of there. It's up top again. It's a small company. The market cap is $490 million. Okay, it's not a huge company. It's a strong buy from the quant. The quant has had it as a strong buy all the way since 12. It's trading at 21. Okay. Wall Street says it's a strong buy. Their price target is $22. That's 3% upside. Now, where has it traded? It traded all the way up to $25 over the Wall Street price target. And that may sound crazy, but there's one freaking analyst that covered this on Wall Street. So his price target is $22. Now, if we go and look at the valuation, their PE's low. Their PEG ratio is perfectly fine. Their growth, fantastic, because they're growing their levered free cash flow, minus 1.6, but the operating free cash flow. Again, it's a small company, so you're just looking at where the cash is going and that the growth is coming. Profitability, fantastic. Look at the return on common equity, 1,931. That is crazy. Crazy good. Momentum, again, strongest force in the market. I would argue that this is higher in the Seeking Alpha quant than other factors. I don't know exactly what goes into the quant, but this is fantastic. 1 year, you're up 648%. So is it a good one? It's a heavy industrial. There's 12 companies here. I would argue that you could probably look at this by market cap and just sort it by market cap. Investor Wind Industries is the number one, but their quant rating is 1.57. So if we just sort this by quant, PSIX is the number one. As far as the stock goes, I have put in here 3 lines, and those 3 lines are based on a weekly chart. Because this one does have some history. It goes all the way back to 2014, 2015. It IPO'd, looks like, at about 30. And it went all the way up to about 90, it looks like. And then it just started slowing down. And what you saw here was a bunch of higher lows and lower highs. And that's not good for a stock. But what you've seen since April is the move higher. And you've seen the Bollinger Bands expand. This is quite extended on a weekly chart. But I would argue that the steps on the way down, so that 20, I would argue that the step here at 12, and I would argue that the step here at 8, they were just steps to look at resistance, because you had 1 week where it hit 8 and pulled back. Then you had another week where it hit 12 and pulled back. Then you haven't had a week where it hit 20 and pulled back, but it hit 25 and it's pulled back. Okay, so I would argue that 20 is probably somewhat support, and I know it's crazy, but have your stop losses tight on this one. This could easily, again, it's not a huge company. It's run up quite a bit, so I wouldn't necessarily trust it. But if you wanted to look at another step above, then I would say the next step above is probably 25 right here. And that's where it rejected off of. See how this part goes back up and then comes right back down? I would argue that that's the next resistance, and that was used as resistance. The next resistance after that, I would argue it's between 58 and 68. So you've got a lot of time. Now, if we look and we pull this back to where it was trading at this time, there is no volume up here to support this. All of the volume is down below. So you're going to need to fill out this volume between 14 and 15 probably, because it hasn't spent much time there at all. But I think you're using between 16 and 20 as your support. So in my mind, I think that's the way you look at that one. Now let's look at IGIC. Essentially, Eli used one of my scanners in Seeking Alpha that I shared with the paid subs. So IGIC, International General Insurance Holdings. This one, algorithm has you in at 21. Algorithm makes you 45%. Buying and holding makes you 184%. We'll first look at a weekly. Okay, you got the 200-day, but you've just moved up. And if this is insurance has been on fire. Absolutely on fire. So you got a positive 200-day, you have a positive 50-day. There's nothing here. This looks like it came out of a SPAC. So I would be a little bit careful of this one. IGIC, let's go look at IGIC. International General Insurance Holdings. It's a strong buy on the quant. It has a $960 million market cap. It's not my thing. When you go and look at Wall Street, there's one analyst that covers it. He believes it's $22 price. We can look at the summary. Where's this? It's traded up to 23. I don't know that I necessarily love this one, just because you came out of a SPAC. B, you don't have the downside. You're trading at all-time highs. Their earnings are coming up. IGIC, let's see if we go to Earnings Hub. Let's IGIC. Let's see if we can pull that one up to see the expectations on this. IGIC. But the lower market cap, I think it's just, so 56 cents. They reported last time 74 cents. I mean, honestly, it's not one that I'm taking a chance on. It's an insurance company. Insurance company has got to do well. Engages specialty insurance and reinsurance solutions worldwide. The company operates through 3 segments: specialty long tail, specialty short tail, and reinsurance. I just don't know. I mean, it's property and casualty. My guess is that it's probably not a bad one, but that market cap scares me and I wouldn't go into it. TIGO is the next one he wants me to go over. TIGO. And by the way, just so you're wondering, Eli is a paid member. So paid members, you guys get unlimited, whatever you guys want, whatever you ask me for. You guys are the supporters of the podcast. That's why I'm going over all of this for Eli. Millicom International Cellular. Ooh, this sounds ugly. TIGO. Algorithm has you out. It makes you 70% versus 161%, 29 positions over 24 months. It wins 45% of the time. You do have earnings coming up. Again, I think this one, when you look at a weekly, you're just getting your golden cross on the weekly. This one looks like it could pop to 20. I mean, that leg right there, this 28, which it's using as resistance, I get. If they have good earnings, you might see it pump up here to 47. Put $100 into it. Have a stop loss here at 25. I'd have a stop loss in there at 25. Their earnings are coming out, it looks like today after the bell. TIGO, let's see. Let's see if they're in here. TIGO. Let me just make sure they didn't announce this morning. TIGO. Yeah, they announced and they missed. But earnings in 3 days. I'm sorry, 3 days. 3 days they announced earnings. So 3 days they announced earnings, 59 cents expected. Just look, God. Let's see. Yeah. 1 week, they're down 3.4. I mean, short term, it doesn't look super strong short term. just because you might pull back to this 200-day at 25. But, I mean, this one might be, I don't think, let's see. This is TIGO. 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 Looks like it's a buy. It's not a strong buy. $4 billion. Cellular. It's a foreign cellular company. Is it sold over the counter? No, it's sold on the NASDAQ. So it's okay. Provides cable and mobile services in Latin America. It offers mobile services, including mobile data. Blah, blah, blah. This one might not be bad. Of the three, PSIX I know has it's pumped. This one year to date is up, looks like 48%. So it hasn't pumped a ton. The valuation looks decent. I mean, they're not making money, but they're expected to. If they come out and say that they're positive on that one, that might be really good. Growth, 5%. Look at the earnings per share diluted growth, 2,450, 68%. That's crazy. Profitability, really good profit margin, 74%. That's fantastic. Momentum, you can't beat it. I mean, that's an A, 1 year up there. Revisions, 3 up, 2 down. So when you go and look at the Wall Street's earnings on this one, or Wall Street's estimates, their estimate is 32, and it's 22% upside. I would say this one's worth of the three, I would probably put that one in, Eli, to be honest with you. From Spotfiy, Caprica, thanks for looking into Shark Ninja. I did bring that one up Friday. Was overbought, now worth a solid look. Curious about your thoughts on ASML. ASML is the Dutch company that shocked the world. They make equipment for semiconductors, and they released their earnings early. It was horrible. And Caprica says, curious about your thoughts. It's hovering around the 200-day on the weekly after the last sell-off, falling knife or printed to start the rebound. Or primed to start the rebound. So I'm not a huge fan of this one. And the only reason is I'm a fan of the actual chips like Broadcom, like Taiwan Semi, who actually buys these products. I don't think that this is like an unbelievable opportunity. And you can see you typically have pullbacks in this name. I mean, that's 2023 where it came down. It's just resetting itself. Do I think that this is an opportunity? Maybe. We'll take a look at the valuation. If you just look at the October 2022 lows and you go through this and you touch 3 lines, okay? 3 of the closest lines. You've broken that trend. So where's the actual loss and the stop of this? It's going to stop at some point. This is not a company that's going to wind up going to zero. But at 674, I would probably trust a little bit more some of the analysts on this one. The quant has it as a hold because the valuation sucks. The valuation it's too expensive. The growth, it's okay. Revenue growth, 15% going forward. When you look at the valuation, is the growth covering this? Look at the PEG. It's 1.79. The PEG of NVIDIA is super low. The PEG of Taiwan Semi, it's super low. So when you factor in growth, Taiwan Semi is at 0.88. NVIDIA is at, 0.1. It's at 1.34. So when I look at, I want to buy a stock, I'm looking at, where's the best opportunity for me to gain money? And I think that's in NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi. ASML, I think it's just expensive. Honestly, I just think it's expensive because when you look at the momentum, where are the buyers showing up? They're not showing up yet. Even though it's oversold, they're not showing up yet. So in my mind, Caprica, at some point it makes sense to get into this one. And if you know more about the semiconductor industry than I do, at some point it makes sense. But for me, I still think that NVIDIA, I still think that Taiwan Semi, I still think that, some of those other ones like Broadcom just make a little more sense. From Spotify, Shep, my only election concerns are the results dragging it out because we are looking at a virtual tie. This could really be a gnarly situation. Time in the market wins. So if you're in, buckle up, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Yeah, Shep is 100% right. From the Facebook group, Gary, Scott says, can you go over ACLS? Earnings are this week. The stock was once a volatile stock. ACLS. And what I'd like to do is just show you guys. This one's a technology company, and you can see how it's pretty volatile. I mean, here's the thing. The algorithm makes you 65% versus 45% buy and hold over the last 24.5 months, 28 positions. You win 43% of the time. So even though this one's a downward spiral, your average win is 10%. Your average loss is 3%. Your max drawdown, though, is 28%. So over that time, the max that you've lost is 28%. So can you trust it? In my mind, at 43%, I'd rather see you get into a stock that's in an upward trend rather than a downward trend. And this one is a downward trend. Now, just like ASML, it's coming up on that 200-day. Your MACD, super low. But what I want to do is take a look at this one for some people that may not pay for Seeking Alpha, because I used these free tools for a very long time before I started paying for Seeking Alpha. And they get you by, and they get you the information that you need. So let's look at ACLS. This is a semiconductor equipment manufacturer. Okay, they have a income of $239 million. Their cash on hand, $16.66 per share. And their shares outstanding, 32 million. So they're not going to dilute you. Their PE, not horrible, at 11. Their average price target, 145. They're trading at 86. So we can go and take a look at these analysts. The last analyst that touched this, it was in May 3rd. Craig Hallam said the price target's 130. Everybody else, you can kind of throw it out because, the 130, I may even throw that one out, to be honest with you, just because it's since May. And since May, it has come down that much. He chased it up here. I mean, he chased it at 104. He said the price target's 130, but you're just going down. And so that high point there where you're looking at that's a trend line. So in my mind, it probably doesn't make sense. Is anybody buying this? No. They're selling. I mean, nobody's bought this since it's come down. March of 2024, dude was buying at $112, but he was buying $49,000 worth. That's like you going out and buying lunch for a president and CEO. So I don't like this one. We can go and look at it in the quant. But that's how you would take a look at it if you don't have Seeking Alpha. And trust me, I used that for years. ALCS has a high performance of performance badly. The company has operating cash flow year over year of minus 32%. So there's better places for your money. That's what I would tell you, Scott. Now let's talk about scans. These are the stocks in Trendspider that show a potential of going up. One that has gone up since I bought it as part of Alpha Picks is Powell. This one has a new buy at $279. Again, this is just on technicals, so you can take a look at it. If you were to buy POWL, 24 and a half months ago, you can see you made 1,036%. This is a highly volatile stock. Look at this. Alpha Picks added it here, in May 15th of 2023. They are up an enormous amount, 359%. I bought it. I'm up like 10% on this one. This one in pre-market down 1.4%. The MACD extended. The RSI extended on the 4-hour. We can look at this one. The MACD reset down to the oscillator. The RSI extended at 65, but not completely overbought. This trend line is the weekly trend line. That is from the weekly. Look at how it's respecting that. I would argue if you're going to look at this one, maybe look at this one when it gets closer to this trend line, because you can't argue that is straight up and you're just extended too much. That's how you look at these. Okay. When I put out my scans, you say, okay, where's my time frame? And if it's long-term, just buy it. If not, you can trade it on a trend line. GLW, which is Corning. This one had you in at 41. Boy, you're at 48. You love that one because that was just September 12th. That's less than 2 months ago. And you're up that much. Okay, 20%, somewhere in that neighborhood. But this one, looks like it's getting another leg up. The MACD is crossing up. It's not, it's not super high. While the price has gone up, the MACD's just been going sideways. The RSI just been going sideways. The RSI's at 58. This one has another leg up. One that I really like and is another alpha pick is Cardinal Health. And again, this is from the watch list. But this one has a buy-in here at 115. You may say, oh my God, it's just bouncing off of this all-time high right here, which is 115, right there. It just looks like it's resistance. Yep, resistance. But the MACD is down there. The RSI is at 68. It shot up after their earnings. They now have the support of good earnings to move higher. It's at 117. So you can see this one, 95. That was a resistance that turned into support right there in July 2024. So I would argue every time you hit the 50-day on this one, it's a time to buy. So go and look at the, I've gone on for an hour here, but go and look at the newsletter. The newsletter is 100% free. It's right here. And this is 100% free. You don't have to pay for anything. You'll see all these scans. You'll see all my notes. You'll see everything. If you made it this far, there's no reason not to sign up. Again, it's completely free. And please, I will say this every day this week. If you have thought about Trendspider, go and get it. This is the time to actually spend the money. If you've got $5,000 in your account, do not spend $500 on software like this. That makes no sense. A 10% gain. This software isn't going to get you 10% of your money. You're going to need to find free tools. Go and get Thinkorswim. Go and learn technical trading. And then take the training wheels off and get Trendspider when your account is at $50,000. When your account's at $50,000, $500 is nothing to spend. And that's what I would point you towards, is the AI tool is going to be game changing. This AI trading model is going to be, so do not wait on Trendspider. They will continue to raise the price. And this advanced price, I have never seen one-on-one training for an entire year for $670. You could literally set up training every day. So if you have any questions, hit me up. You can go to the link tree. The link is down below. Remember, when you sign up, wait until you're a paying customer. If you take advantage of the free 7-day trial, just make sure that after the 7-day trial, you email me. My email is up here on the upper right-hand corner. But you do need to be a paying customer. It's kind of like Alpha Picks. I'm not going to give you all my secrets until you become a paying customer. I want to make sure that you're going to use it for more than a freaking week. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, thanks. See you. Bye. Happy Hymns Day, Steph. Larry. Welcome. Okay. I think I did a long one there. Who is texting me? Okay. I don't know if MK is out there, but she may be driving around. Let me open this up because did we open up? It's only 9:08. I am going to get out of here because I got to get the house ready for the housekeeper. And yes, that's a 1% problem. But I don't like my housekeeper to do extra work around me because I feel bad that I even have a housekeeper. She is fantastic. She's unbelievable. The dogs love her. I love her. She's great. Okay, hold on one second, Steph. I'll get it for you. Boom. Yeah, okay. I'm just editing this so that I have it available to me. when I get off here, which is going to be very soon. Green screen, copy. Boom. Okay, and we're going to export. This is 11.4. Pod. Save. Okay. You know what's crazy? Let me see. Some of your chat stuff. Oh, okay. I am live there. Thoughts on Meta? I think Meta is a screaming buy. The algorithm got you out right after their earnings. I can't imagine this one's not, 564 is close enough to that old support line of 550. I need to add more of this. In fact, I'm going to make myself a note. Buy more Meta. That's my note for myself. Here's the thing. Meta is a company that is just printing money right now with ads. It's just Zuckerberg's going to spend, and he's going to spend big. The PE is not out of the question. That may seem like a big PE against the sector. And so let's look at the metrics. I'm going to look at valuation, PE, and we'll just look at PE, update chart, and we're going to go over. It may seem like a big PE at 27, but look, history says that this was the time to buy in 2022 because the PE was 10 or 11. On Meta, this was when the dude was spending, $300 billion a quarter on like 20 people going to the metaverse. So I think Meta's a screaming buy. This is what, you can see what it is. Daily quotes. Let's look at monthly quotes. See? Look at the volume. The volume here, wow. February, it really traded a lot. Volume's going up though. 10,000 in October. The high was 602. Now, where does Wall Street think? Because there's tons of people that cover. They say it's a screaming buy. 643. 643. I want to be in Meta, A, for AI, and B, I just think Zuckerberg is probably the smartest guy in the room when it comes to managing this company. And I think... Well, I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's got a lot of problems. I have a lot of problems with him per se. I do think he's a fantastic visionary. I really do. Honestly, God, he was wrong about the metaverse, but I don't think he's going to be wrong about the metaverse. I just think he's probably 10 years before the metaverse actually happens. And I think that's what you're seeing with Vision Pro from Apple. I think those glasses, I think you are going to see a time where glasses and virtual reality come into play. And I think Meta is actually building itself up. Look at this. This is a market cap of 1.43 trillion. Let's see, peers. Is Google in here? Yeah. So they could literally... 40% to get up to Google? And they have half the employees, less than half the employees. So I think they grow like that. And I think Zuckerberg is spending like Google used to spend in order to grow. So, and I think Google's got some issues, but I think Meta's in a place. So think about this. Meta has all of, 6 billion or 2 or 3 billion people that use it on a weekly basis. They have all of their data. from a location standpoint. They have all of their data from, as long as they're using the app, from their likes and dislikes. And so if Meta were to launch a navigation app, could they take on Google Maps? Could they take on Apple Maps? Absolutely. And they don't need to win. They just need to take some. Ben from Bullish Bites. Ben, I mean, and yes, I've seen more elections, but no election like this. The 2020 election was the only thing that even comes close. And if I had time travel, I would go back and I would tell Biden to run instead of Hillary. And then we would have never had Trump, and Biden would probably have his 2 terms. And I think the political system would be very different. I don't think we'd be in the same situation we are in now, either, where the country is divided. But again, that's just kind of hindsight is 2020. But I don't think there's an election like this. I think if it's even anywhere close, I think the Democrats go through the court systems and they do things properly. I think if there's anything close and the Republicans lose, I think they scream like a child and go on rants and tell people to become, take their country back. And I think that's the mistake. I don't, I personally, and this is, not to get political or anything, but I personally know the former director of elections in Fulton County here in Georgia. I personally know several elections officials, like high up in Georgia. Not the Secretary of State. Don't know him personally. Don't have a lot of fondness for him, but I do have a fondness for his honesty. And I'm like one step away, and I have been told he's not a good, like, politically, we just don't see eye to eye. And I think he does a lot of things political wise, but I think from the election standpoint, I think Georgia with Kemp and those guys, I think they did a really, really good job in 2020. And they kind of put Trump, that's not easy. You got the president of the United States calling you up and saying, hey, we just need to find 11,000 votes. Well, there's not 11,000 votes to find. And that's the problem. And they put some things in place. I don't agree with the things that they put in place. So I do think that you see some volatility. It just depends on who wins. Because if Harris wins, you're going to see a bunch of little crybabies. And there's no shenanigans going on. None. And I think Saturday night put it perfectly. Elon doesn't trust software to count votes, but he trusts it to drive a 4,000-pound vehicle on a highway. I mean, that's just me. So I think you do see some volatility. I think you see some craziness. The VIX right now, let's take a look. Where's the VIX? I think it may go to 25 to 22. I don't think you get up into the 35 or 60 range. I think you may go to 25. And it's just because what will cause the VIX to go to 30 is if the Fed says, you know what, we're not going to cut. We're not going to cut. I think that causes more than the election. But I think your time frame matters, Ben. And so I think while this time might be a little crazy, I think a month, 6 months, or a year. Yeah, in the unit, honest to God, I don't care who wins. I just care that, the country does well. That's all I care about. You can tell me that Harris is going to crash. I point you right back. When you tell me that Biden hasn't done great with the economy, I point you right back to my tweet that I made last night. Let's see, scrolling back here. Where is my tweet? I gotta find it. I think, I didn't pin it. Where did I put it? There it is. Number 1, stocks at all-time high. Number 2, home prices, all-time high. Number 3, Bitcoin, all-time high. Number 4, gold, all-time high. Number 5, wages, all-time high. Number 6, U.S. household net worth, all-time high. Number 7, bond and cash yields at 5%. That's about the average. And meanwhile, you're at all-time highs with everything else. Unemployment rate at 4.1. That's historically low. Inflation at 2.5%. The economy is not shitty. So, unit, even though you're for Trump, if you're going to tell me that the economy is shitty, you need to tell me why. And you can't tell me that, yes, the bottom half is hurting. And yes, the wealth divide has increased. But is Trump talking about bringing down the wealth divide? No. And his tax policy of tariffs, that's just crazy to me. But again, I don't care who wins. I just care that the country does well. And so I think the upside of Harris wins, but that's your own problem, the unit. Why are you at a job for 3 years, for 4 years, that you only got a $3 raise? When you could have gone out there and gotten a new job. I wasn't making an income at all for the last 2 years. And then finally this year, I'm making an income. It's the long game. And when I wasn't making enough money to make I earned $25,000 a year getting out of college. My rent was $1,500 a month. And my car insurance was like close to $1,000 a year, something like that. I had to manage that. So yeah, your groceries. I don't know what grocery store you're shopping at from $100 a week to $350 a week. What the fuck are you buying? There ain't no grocery store that went up 300%. Where are you shopping? Go to Walmart. I don't spend $350 a week. I spend maybe about $100 a week, and I eat really well. And yeah, I'm shopping at Walmart. But I don't have a family. I mean, I'm buying for 2 people, but it's $100 a week. That's what I spend. Maybe $120. But tell me, if that's so bad, unit, why haven't you gone out and gotten another job? Why haven't you gone out? Because again, wages are at all-time high. If you have skills, you can demand wages. And if you don't have skills and you need additional money, go out and work more. You know, if it's costing you from that point to that, and you can't tell me, unit, here's the thing, and I will argue this with you all the time. The second stimulus wasn't the cause of inflation. It was just like putting a cherry on top for inflation. It was the first stimulus that Congress passed, bipartisan for COVID. That was the first thing, and that's going to take about 10 years to get out of the system. Then the second stimulus, which was the same amount, which Biden put in, was the cherry on top, which is probably going to take another 10 years to get out of the system. So you do have inflation, but inflation was inevitable. It wasn't about, who's in office. It was inevitable. So, and inflation, FYI, there's 2 features of the Fed. And if I put up that, I think I get balloons. But there's two things of the Fed. It is one for inflation and one for economic. I mean, if Biden's in charge of inflation, the Fed is an independent unit. So, again, I don't care who you vote for, just vote. If Trump wins, I'll be fine. We'll be fine. That's my hope. I hope he just does well. And that would be my hope. I'm not going to, but I do think that the upside of Harris is more than Trump. It's just my thought. But, it's not like I'm fighting that Harris is some great savior. She's got her issues too. I didn't vote. I would have loved a primary. I didn't vote to have her as my, as a candidate. I voted for Dean Phillips as my candidate. And I would have loved Dean Phillips to be in there. And I wish he would have fought more, but that's the insider. You know, the Democratic Party is just freaking broken. And my problem with the Democratic Party is you put, you bounce out Bernie Sanders, who probably should have won the 2016 nomination. You bounce him out and you tell Joe Biden that he shouldn't run. And then you place in Hillary, which was just a horrible candidate. And then you put Joe Biden as the nominee, and you know damn well that he's freaking senile. BREV? Yeah, get me off the political stuff. What, BVILF? I mean, that's a great theory, but yeah, and Ben, that's my biggest problem with Harris is I totally wish she wouldn't have gotten my vote. No way. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. And I think I even put this out there. I voted for the lesser of two evils. But I do, just so everybody knows, I do have personal history with Trump. And it's not good history. The man is he's slimeball. I mean, he really, really is. Don't think that he's doing this because he loves this country. Do not think he's doing this because he loves this country. He is a complete slimeball. Now, I don't argue that people like him, and that's been his whole life. But his whole life, he's been a complete scumbag. And yes, I have personal history with him, and no, I could never vote for a man. I can never vote for a man that I couldn't work for. And I have personal history, and it's bad history. I'm not going to bring it up, but it's like death history. Death of a friend's parents because of Trump. Brev is going to be in the Dow. Oh, NVIDIA. Yeah. Sorry. I thought you were saying Brev is going to be in the Dow. Now, NVIDIA is going to be in the Dow. Yeah. Yeah, AMZN is that. I think that's the one that Eli asked about. Oh no, this is American Semiconductor. I've got this one. I mean, look at that one. I think you may have asked about this one before because I never looked at this one, so I must have put that in there. Clearly resistance at 30. I would argue that if you anchor at any of these low points, Ben, and you're a technical guy, if you the only anchor that you could do is down here for a trend line is down like here. And then if you do that, you're still a little bit extended, but you're getting towards, if you can break out above that 30 and hold it, I think it'd be good. But right now, I'm just seeing that. That's a multi-year range right there. That goes back to 2014. That's a multi-year range. Now, if you can break out above that and hold it, your support should be about 22, I would think. Maybe even 25. Probably 22. Because you can see the pullbacks here. When it got up there, it pulled back, and then it kind of just fluttered around there. So between 22 and 30, if you think it's in for an upward one, I think that one's good. Let's see, AMSC. Just get out there. And by the way, to finish off my political, just get out there and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just get out there and vote. Because there are people dying in the world to have the rights, the ability to vote like we have. Quant says it's a hold, and it's because of valuation and profitability. Oh, Ben. AMSC, 96 PE. The growth justifies it, But the profitability, oof. Yeah, I think you need it to come down. I mean, that's shitty valuation and profitability. Now, momentum, which I've always said is the biggest thing, I think that's a good one. But I'd be afraid of this range coming back into play. Now, you do have the golden cross going, and it looks like the 50 days right on that trend line. So that trend line probably is a pretty good thing. As you get closer to that trend line, it might be an opportunity to buy. But again, in my mind, why would I buy any chip stuff other than NVIDIA? I mean, why is anybody buying any chip stuff other than NVIDIA? I'm going to take my do not disturb off just so I can see. If, where is my iMovie? Oh, okay. I'm done. I got to upload this. So it is 9:30. Market's open. Let's see. Did the market pop at all? Oh, I've got people. Wah, wah. Let's see. I'll do an indices, a portfolio check at the open. I am down 0.31%, and that's probably because of Apple. I mean, I was down on Friday, so yeah, it's down 0.24. How's MicroStrategy doing? Let's see what this one's opening up at. 226, down 1.58%. Algorithm doesn't have you out. I have a, just behind my head, you can see over here, MicroStrategy buy and sell alerts in Trendspider. No, I'll kind of do my 2025 predictions in December. I don't know if they actually, I have to look at my 2024 predictions, but sector wise, when you go over here to market data and you look at this stuff and you look at year to date, I mean, communication services is number 1, financial services is number 2, utilities have slipped to number 3, and they're down 4% in the last month. That's an opportunity in my mind. When you look at XLU, take a look at this. Well, we're going to go over here to XLU because there's a channel that I drew on XLU. I think it's XLU's weekly chart. But look at that. I mean, that pullback from 82 to 77. The utilities aren't going anywhere. Oh, come on. We got to reload Trendspider. I'm going to go to 4 hour. It did get XLU. It just doesn't like my 4 hour. It gets stuck up on that sometimes. So if you go and look at a weekly of XLU, I put this in here. Oh, is this a monthly? No. Why can't I go back? Oh, stop. I guess I can't. Let's go to a monthly. Yeah, there. It's a monthly. So it's the monthly chart. So you can see here, we're right in the middle of this monthly upward trend. And so I think any pullback that you get on this, I think you buy that dip on utilities. Utilities will, as rates come down, utilities give a great dividend. In fact, let's see, dividend yield, 2.83%. That's fantastic. And we need power. So I can't imagine that utilities don't go up. And the nuclear stuff, I don't think that that's done. Then you look at the next one, industrials. It's pulled back a little bit. I think the consumer's strong, but over the last month, you've seen a little bit money come out of the market. So real estate, that's the one where I don't think that we see a bounce. And energy, I think, stays down. So, but utilities, I always like the tech sector. That one's underperformed this year, in the middle right here. But you could probably beat the, if you pick three or four sectors to have, some of these spider sectors, you could probably beat the S&P just by that. Am I raising any cash? No. John, I've been, what I do shouldn't factor into anybody's decisions. And what anybody does shouldn't factor into your decision. If you're uncertain about what's going to happen tomorrow or Wednesday, you should pull some cash out. If you lose sleep over the election, I have a buddy who's all about Trump and he's all about the election. And he's nervous as hell with Harris coming in. I instructed him, pull your money out. Pull your money out. I mean, I think time in the market, but if you're losing sleep over it, just pull your money out. UTG. Let's see, UTG. And then I'm going to go. Reeves Utility Income Trust, 7%. Holdings. Wow. How's it paying 7%? How does this pay 7%? Closed-end balanced mutual fund launched and managed by the fund invests in public utilities and fixed income markets. It seeks to invest in securities of companies operating in utility sector. Interesting. Yeah, this one's pulled back with a 7% yield. Let's see how this trades. Hold on. Let's see how this trades in UTG in the algorithm. Wow. In the algorithm, you make 26% versus the actual asset over the last 2 years, 20%. With the 7% yield, I mean, add 14% to each one of those, as long as you're in it during the period. Looks like it gets you out right after a lot of the dividend payments, too. Doesn't have you in right now. But that's an interesting one. I'm going to put this on our watch list. So if you're in Trendspider, you've now got, and I'm going to put it in our energy names. Is this really energy? Probably, yeah. I'd put it in there. Why not? Because I'm not going to start a utility kind of watch list. Okay, I am out of here. You guys have a great day. Remember, vote. Vote tomorrow. Because I think most election stuff is closed, but vote tomorrow. Okay. See you guys. And remember, Trendspider. I'll answer the emails. I got a bunch of emails about Trendspider. I'll answer them later today. But if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay. Say bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.